Good morning again to my Light and Love crew, practitioners of Light and Love to be more exact. It is 6:46 in the morning, and it's just crazy. I've been up for like the past hour at least, and I got like so much done. It is crazy. Crazy. Incremental progress, but like it makes such a huge impact. Like, I'm not really like the morning person, but I just woke up like, I don't know, after the, witching hour, like the latest witching hour. And like, I know like somebody's trying to like fuck with my progress, when you work within the occult, like the more progress you make, the more people are like, perturbed by that. And so, especially when they just can't match that energy. So if they can't match it, they take you down. It's like some dirty poker game. And so, you hold your face, you hold your ground, and because you've got winning cards, you don't need a bluff. And so that's where we're at. So freaking good. It's Sunday. I have the day off today. Do you know how amazing that is after like how much like I did? Like I didn't even write it down on the agenda. I started getting a little I felt sort of like weighed down by my list, and because it just like, I think in changing up the pattern, I'm just following through with what I'm guided to do, which is like, that stuff still needs to be done, but to work at it, to chip away at it, you have to change up the pattern a bit, to kind of keep you on your toes, but not like in this anxious manner, more like a kid. Like I'm excited to like try this thing. Like I started out with the day-to-day chores of like looking at the sink, and I'm like, I know what I don't want, and I know like when it comes to manifestation, the more you think about what you don't want, the more that like you generate that. So I'm like, I don't want the pests that are affiliated with like leaving like shit like there. So like I was just like, and then it was more of like, once you realize that, like it just clicks and you realize, oh, okay, well, I know that I've done this before, this chore before, by like, with enjoyment. So like, why not just like go with that? I've been there, so I'm just gonna like fly myself there again, and I did it, and it was just like, it was done so quickly, and like it didn't feel like anything weighing me down. I didn't have any like bad thoughts towards it. It was just like playing house. What I remember when I was a kid, you have to think about like all the things that they come into like full circle. So, when like, because of that bully energy from back in the day, like I always felt like, I was never the kind to dream about like, oh, my wedding day. I was dreaming more about like what it's like to live in a like peaceful atmosphere. And so I would pretend like, let's play house, let's play library, let's play school. Like, I really enjoyed those things. So it's like, it's easy for me to make that switch without being compromised or like faking it till I make it, because like I've been there. Like I enjoyed it, and so it was so quick for me. And yeah, so you got to find those places where they're like safe spots for you, your little getaways that were pure in heart, and like you didn't have to like have X amount of money. Like it's irrelevant to what was in your pockets at the time. So You know, like it's just really awesome to have those moments. They're blessings in disguise. And they were blessings even within the moments that they were achieved, when they were originated, when they were birthed. So that's the magic of the inner child. Like, I haven't made it out there to go and play or whatever, but like I bring the atmosphere at home, and I try to like do whatever I can without being like a tryhard. It's just like, okay, well, these things are not being resourced. Like, I went through like bins of stuff that, you know, within closets, like the deepest recesses of the closet. And I was like, oh, I can pop these back out, or, you know, whatever. Like, if they bring happiness, you know, like what do you call it, the Marie Kondo way, then you keep them. If they weigh you down, then you let them go. You thank them for their time, their service, of when they did bring happiness, even if they still have like the tags attached, even, you know. So it's good. Things are going well. We are preparing for the full moon in, I don't know, I think it's March 7th. I think that's what it is. But, you know, I got, like, I just feel good. Like, the ambiance is so much better. Like, gosh, I took care of, like, quite a few piles and things that were unfinished, and, like, putting things away. Like, I just look so weird. No, it's not weird. It's great. It's excellent. I enjoying the progress that I'm making. And, yeah, it's just, it was such a huge difference from like just 24 hours ago. And even like the frequencies, like noticing the changes, like when I was clocked into work, it felt like I was just passing time. Like I was in a waiting room, just standing and doing this or that. It felt so weird. Like I was in a simulation where it's like, it wasn't like I was bored per se, or like, I just felt like, what's the purpose of life? What is it that I'm doing here? Like, what, it was like, I'm not talking down on the place. I was just like, it felt a little meaningless to me. I mean, it served its purpose. Like, obviously, the meaning is there, to put context into, like, what I'm supposed to be doing, and that I'm moving in the right direction. But, like, it felt like a holding tank. It was a place that I never felt like I've ever been before. Like, I was fully aware of what I was doing, what was going on, but at the same time, it was like, it felt like an empty space, like a void. Like, it was weird. Like, time just like stood still, because I wasn't quite bonded within my experiences. Like, everything just felt flighty. That's what it was. It felt like flighty, like things, and it wasn't even like super duper fast paced like crazy. It was just like, it felt like when you, what I imagine like astral travel to be, out of body experiences, where you're present, but within a separate timeline, a separate like phase of life, and you're like just looking at things, but you're not quite interacting. It's very like Harry Potter, like when they look into the well or whatever, and they look back into time to retrieve information. That's exactly what it felt like. People just passing through, kind of like ghosts, like, you know, like it was so weird. So, you know, it was just like being present within my perspective, but not lost in the shuffle, which was like, I'm so super duper thankful for, because we're coming to a close as far as, my involvement there, at least actively, directly involved. So, you know, it's it's good. I love what I'm investing myself in now. I really do, and I want to keep the ball rolling with that. And I think that's where, you know, Angels of Light and Love, I welcome you in, formally invited, of course. Give me a second. I need to put on like my other stuff. So, it's all good. Like, I don't even know what else to say. But I am happier. And I'm seeing, like, things are truly happening behind the scenes. Like all of these other things, both like what do you call it? Corrupt things, but also like the divine knows, like they see everything, so they resource these moments accordingly. They shift it into place, into perspective for the greatest good. And like, it's something that I don't want to say like you don't have to believe in it, because it like happens on its, I don't know. No. Like, there's power behind belief, for sure. Like, even, like, for a long time, let me just share this with you, okay? I was raised Catholic, and, so, like, how do I say it? When I was raised in that manner, it was more of the applications of discipline and learning like parable type of energy, and for life lessons, the applications towards it. So you don't have to take everything literal. I mean, that's what I learned along the way, but at the same time, like, what do you want to say about that, angels? Like, I didn't really grasp how powerful prayers were, and how equivalent that is to positive affirmations to the universe, to spirit, and the many like faces of spirit, like celebrated in different cultures, and so different religions, of course, and so, gosh, I'm losing track here. Excuse me. Prayer, yes. So, like, I still invested in it. I was like, I need to start somewhere, even if it feels very aloof, intangible, urban legend type of thing. I'll just engage in it, because that spark. You don't want to undermine your abilities to start something new, no matter how far away it feels. The sun exists because of your day-to-day experiences, even though it's like very, very far away. Even though you cannot touch it, you still kind of within a certain facet of your reality that it does exist, that it has a huge impact to your livelihood. So, very much, I think that's what the Eye of Ra is, conveying. Okay. So, what else do you want to say? My stomach. So it's not all just like rage, it's dominance within its divinity. Gosh, what is going on with my stomach? I don't know. Maybe there are others that are disturbed here, that are insisting upon their ways, but I'm tired of like sharing, my happiness with the world, and then all of a sudden, like almost instantaneously, bullshit comes through. And it's like, I'm not gonna build about this taboo of like being cornered into the fear of sharing happiness, and that, what the consequences are implied to be. Like, fuck that. No. I'm a warrior, and I'm a lover. So that means that I believe in my impact holds higher dominance. It's more prominent in its energy to reach almost effortlessly to those who, could use that little boost or that big boost. So, all right, now that we've gone through talking, we're going to pull some cards. And the funny thing is that when I was putting away the transformation card that was on my altar from I don't know, it was within this month that I pulled it. I was like, okay, it's time to push you away. And I cut the deck, and the card that it was taboos. And I'm like, what? I don't know how I feel about that energy, but now I feel like I should say something about it. I mean, read it, because it came up in discussion. So where is it? Let me show you. Because when I put it away, it was, see, transformations. I cut the deck and see it's like taboo. Oh shit. Sorry. See? And it's Bluebeard. 17. 17 is the star card. Is it? Yeah, it's a star card. No, insane. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even look at the numbers. So, let's read it. I'm curious now. Because I didn't know how I was gonna start this, but I was like, okay, it'll lead on its own. It has a life form of its own. Here, said he, are the keys. These open my strong boxes which hold my money, both my gold and silver. These my caskets of jewels. And this is the master key to all my apartments. But as for this little one here, it is a key to the closet at the end of the great hall on the ground floor. Let me just how close is that crazy? That's crazy. Okay. Open them all. Go into each and every one of them except that little closet, which I forbid you. And forbid it in such a manner that if you happen to open it, you may expect my just anger and resentment. What? Okay, there's something I get. Curiosity is not to be punished in this tale, as the bride is rescued by her family and escapes her cruel fate. So this suggests that if family members of your soul family, people who have true friendship and concern for you, are expressing any misgivings over your closeness with a powerful person who inspires respect and a little fear, and who demands obedience, listen to them. Curiosity itself is the key to freedom within this story. For while he makes good on his threat to execute her, her family saves her, and the bodies of the other wives are discovered and given respectful burial. Oh my God, what is going on? All right, I'm just going to read the meanings behind this, okay? That's insane. What the heck? Okay, the meanings are family protection, discovery of secrets, curiosity which cannot be stifled, hidden truths, forbidden topics, places, and people, inappropriate punishment. You have discovered an awful truth. Secrets can no longer be kept. There's protection and defense for you. And listen to family who loves you. They see what you cannot. Family goes beyond blood because, some blood ties are tainted, let me tell you, because of the sheer defiance of doing the healing work. You see that when it comes into how that transitions to health matters. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who has poor health they work in darkness, but I am definitely saying that you can absolutely tell when someone plummets off the face of the earth with their energy, when all of a sudden, it looks like they're melting, or seriously, I've seen people turn around like what happened? And it was, they've been dabbling in the dark, let me tell you. Yes, they have. Very interesting, huh? So it's insane. And it's not just aesthetics, it's how in the Holocaust, how they wanted to mark, these Jews or people who what is it, homosexuals, or, people like to, not just show like a label of incrimination supposedly, but like a lesser value. Like it's almost like, you remember like back in the day when there was a fad where like you would wear your cap or whatever, and it would have like I never fell into this, but like it would have the price tag hanging out, and that was like a fad at one point. But then like if it were a price tag of like thrift shopping, it would be like it's kind of like that, you know what I mean? So it's this label of a lesser degree, a lesser value. And so what were you saying about that? Holy smokes, gosh. Shoot. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Okay, angels, if it's important and relevant, then LMK, okay? Thank you. All right. I don't know why I forgot. Well, it's weird. Okay. So, protection. Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah, thank you. It has to do with this card about what we were talking about, like the aesthetics, that the divine essentially shows you, like, upfront visually. And it's also an in-your-face type of energy for those people who are fucking around with other people's energy, siphoning off of, like, the youth of others. And so, like, it all comes down to them, the gravity, the weight of, like, the intangibles within the divine realm. You're like, you want to fuck around and find out? Here you go. Here's your fucking receipt. And so, like, they get what is due to them. Do you understand? So, the divine is essentially identifying to those within different realms of spirituality, of working within their heart chakra, like who those people are that are fucking around with, like, you do not know. Don't even let them in your, like, energetic frequency. You know when you, like, spread your arms, like your wingspan? That's how tall you are. That's a measure of one of your auras. And it expands. There's one's closer to you, one's, like, farther away from you. So, like, when it comes to, like, people, like, coming within close proximity, even shaking your hands, giving you a hug, don't let people pressure you into any of that, like the niceties, the business etiquette of shaking hands. We're living in a time of, like, where COVID is still relevant, so you can tell them that, like, fuck right on off appropriately. It's like, I'm sorry, like, I'm still, COVID is still, going on, and I prefer to keep my distance, but, high five, you can do one of those, but even energetically speaking, you're projecting that kind of thing. But, like, on an eye-to-eye level, depending on how strong you are, they know what the real message, and that's what you're delivering. So energetically speaking, you're not giving your life force to, you're not relinquishing that youthful spirit that they can, like, latch onto. Okay, even if it's that knuckle thing, I was fooled into that with, like, at some point, and I was like, oh, I got duped. And so it's just, everything's a learning experience. So I'm just sharing this with you, because, like, people are like, oh, it's harmless or whatever, or, like, it's common, it's, and no, you don't have to give into that energy. Culture is created by also your own wielding, It's an implementation of, like, a communal effort. And so every single ingredient, every single person matters. So if you're going to succumb to it, then you're adapting. If you are supplementing it, well, more power to you and more power to them. So, it's just reminding yourself that your investments do matter. All right. Okay, so what are we picking out here? Oh my gosh. All right, what deck are we using? I feel like since we're talking about ingredients again, we're going to go with the Herbal Tarot deck. You know, I said something about American Indian, like an herb that was used. I think I got it confused with something else. But maybe I forgot to look it up. Shoot. But because I put a few things in my inventory, but like I haven't been able to work with some of it yet. And so I just remember seeing the labels, and I think I got it a little mixed up. I don't know. Like, I don't say things that are like whatever I say within the divination sessions are meant to come across how they're meant to. So I think there's still accuracy within it, but it's like hidden knowledge, or meant to trigger someone to explore that avenue, if called to it. Okay, so, okay, all right, Angels of Light and Love. What do you want to say? What do you want to tell me? What are we talking about today? You know, I feel cheated a little bit with February because it's only 28 days. Is it 29 for leap years? I don't remember. But, so today is the 25th or the 26th. I don't know, it's a Sunday. But, yeah, I think it's the 26th. I don't know. Like, it started off as, like, after I clocked out, there were, like, I just started getting the ball rolling, and I was gonna, like, blow off dinner. I'm like, okay, what should I get to eat? Then I started thinking about the cost of, like, what it would be to get something to eat that's worthwhile for me and the kids. And, like, I was like, no, we've had such an incredible amount of experience and success rates that are like off charts when it comes to cooking and arranging for things. And we had like very, very minimal like waste produced. And if you're looking at it comparatively speaking to, how it was when my ex was around, like we threw away a lot of stuff, like so much waste. But like now it's like, it's not even just about not being wasteful, but like we're enjoying like what we can make, like recreating constantly. It's resilience and agility and creative solutions, like on a very practical level. Like it's fucking amazing. And it's like not even a stressor. So I'm like, nope, I'm going to adhere to it. Like we went grocery shopping and we got, and these things for a purpose. So like, it was just like knowing, just like, even just like background knowledge, just a little bit of like what we can make during this time and how like much time is invested. Like, and still having some wiggle room to like explore. It was good. We did good. So it just like went one after the other, and then I went grocery shopping on my own after like late hours, and I was like, okay, like my younger son had to like really, really like adhere to his studies. So I'm like, I'll get some ice cream. Like there's some like midpoint energy where it's not like you're not punishing someone for catching up on their work. Like it's enough punishment to like take away, a certain hobby that they've like overindulged in, just for the time being. Like it's being on restriction, like it's discipline. So it's like, okay, well, it doesn't have to be like they're in prison. Like they still have to do the work. So when it comes to like healing work, knowing by experience, you don't like chastise yourself. What is it? Like, you don't have to martyr yourself, like victimize yourself into doing things that you're supposed to do and check off the list. It's not even supposed to be like that. It's still an investment to life, which means that you should be able to enjoy whatever you can, like salvage some type of grace out of it, other than having time to still check it off the list. You know what I mean? Like, so that applies to, your career, your your romantic pursuits, your friendships, your networking. It's like looking at all those prospects, whether there's sentience within people or projects, like that's passion. That's your solar plexus, like identifier energy with your sacral chakra, your passion projects for sure. Okay, cut the deck. They said judgment is karma. Yeah, it's like, dude, like, you also script your own karma. It's knowing that, like, so you might as well do it in good standing. Like, okay, it's a bucket list on live. It's not like, okay, I'll do it later. Like, oh, I'd like to invest in this, or I'm saving up for that. It's also like, it's investing in the future, but also investing in the now. That's what they're saying. It's very active. What is that? Golden seal. I don't know what that is, but I suppose it grows in the like coastal regions. Definitely. I love it. There you are. Bottom of the deck, Echinacea, Temperance. So yeah, look, weighing things out from here to there, like your wingspan. Okay, well, I'm investing, something like that's in the future, right? But I'm also investing in the now based on hindsight knowledge, right? So it's like being present within that, like, totality. So I love it. Let's put it down. Okay. So two what do you call it? Major Arcana cards. Sitting on the latter half, So this is like, when you're looking at what do you call it? Your, like, bachelor's degree. This is your upper division units. So 14 and 20 there. So what opened up inverted was the King of Pentacles muted, or inverted. Opened up to the Ten of Swords in reverse. So it's again, that agility test where Spirit's like your personal trainer, and like, oh, or your what is it? Physical therapist, yeah. And doing it part-time, because you know what? We're coming in, like, we're meeting in the middle too. So we're both part-timing this. We're both, like, co-piloting this, like, improvement thing. So, Ten of Swords, it's agility, it's the bounce back. And it's knowing that we can get there. We can totally invest in that. Like, this is appreciation for sentience in its total investment. In pocket, out of pocket. So time is money, money is time. That's energetic investment. Because like, our success rate is, like, ample and therefore can be amplified. So we start with self. We're looking at that, like, constant learning mentality of, is it like a lifelong learner. So it's that humbled mindset of, like, a page suited up as a King of Pentacles. Okay? It's upgraded energy by our own wielding, because we know it to be true. We believe in ourselves, and that's what we're invested in. Even if we're looking at, like, the comparative belief system of prayer, if you're feeling that, like, aloof from it, but it's reality and its form, its link to manifestation, it's not just like a fucking formula that the angels and, they want us to, they want me to emphasize that we're not just engaging in prayer as like some kind of formula to type in and data entry your way to like placing your order so that it's received accordingly. We're not doing that. We're not cheapening it down to a transaction. But we understand its value, its placement, and we're just going to believe in that energy of like, okay, there's my buy-in to it, we see it for what it's worth. It's pure within its value. Nobody's trying to sell me anything here when it comes down to it. Like, yeah. Like I tried other ways of doing it. Like I tried other ways of like skirting around the issue and trying to take shortcuts and, making money this way and that. And it's like, no, I'm going to try it this way. I've seen myself do it this way. So it's like, that activity book, that workbook that we talked about. I don't know. This was what they're saying. Okay. Maybe I was supposed to pull that card out. No, it's okay. We already know it's like the reality of it. Justice. Oh, it's crazy. Number 11, justice, right in the middle. So this is divining power. This is the high priestess, like also vibing within oh my gosh, this is the high priestess wearing the suit of justice, the robes of justice. It's knowing like the divine power, like the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. This is excellent. This is the first time I've seen it like that. You see that like crystal ball in her hand? And the scales of justice in the other? So, like you can get your JD and like do like pro bono work, like X amount of years. You can get your law practice basically handed over to you based on the rep of like your superiors or your network or even your family. But when it comes down to it, like Spirit's telling me, like I carry the energy of like purity when it comes down to the truth. It's unfiltered. It's in its raw state. It's like honeycomb status, straight from the bees. Like it's indisputable where that shit came from. They're spitting the truth. I think honey is our bees' spit. It's basically like pearl energy, clam spit, based on the irritation or whatever. Same shit. Different sentience. I love it. So Spirit's saying that I spit the truth. For sure. Yeah, we put the sword down. Like, I don't need to fight with anybody when it comes to this energy. Like, Archangel Michael, like, is teaching me, and therefore I am learning from their ways when it comes to, like, what it means to be a real warrior. You speak the truth, and you like, you don't need to fight. Like, what... There's nothing else to like left to say. There's nothing like basically when you do that, it's the last word. It's the final answer. Like I rest my case. That and it's saying like adding peace to the system. Yeah. That's interesting. That is so cool. And this is coming in like out of the woods. Do you see that? This is like Wiccan energy. This is high knowledge. Like applications of it. You see, it's mysterious because she's hooded right there. This is ritualistic energy, ancestral. This is primordial. How interesting is that? And you know, like, she came from the woods, but it's like super lit in there. How often do you see the woods being lit from within? That's never the case. Do you know how interesting this card is on its own? How relevant that is to my energy? And, you know, if you're practicing within the same, or this is also perspective if you're like, learning as well within the ways. This is these are the ways of the White Witch, but like, very hidden energy. This is of the Fae. Yeah. How else would you get that, like, that illumination, that prominent illumination, like across tree branches and everything? Like, this is excellent. That is beautiful. So what's in the bottom of the deck? 3 of Wands. Your ships are coming in, Tina. Rest assured. That's like an avocado. What do you call it? Seed. This is saffron. You know how pricey saffron? Oh, it cut. Okay, what is this? 10 of Swords. There it is. Remember, is that what you see what's going on here? Oh shit. We nipped all the bullshit in the bud, and we like uprooted that nasty energy. So it's telling me to take it down and bring it up a notch. Okay, so saffron is a pretty pricey. They go by the ounce. You know, when you're working with crystals, and let's say like moldavite, when you get into that, those rarities and the potency of the crystals, they work by grams. So they price by grams rather than like flat rates, or, you know. So saffron is one of those like top notch, like top shelf energies. Yeah, this is excellent because there's a certain awareness carried about it, like a sentience that like is guarding it, because there's 4, you see, little like there's birds around it. 4, so that's 4 of Swords energy. That's like meditative, like constant, like there's a shield that's around that boat. That's like a sentience, a live sentience that that is protecting what's coming through. I love it. I love it. Saffron is definitely a floral energy. This is excellent because this is I don't even know what to say. But it's beautiful. Look, he has his hand on his hip. You know, he's like, he knows it's coming. It's not like shifting, like, you know, the Book of Chaos, where it's like, you know, like, you know, leaning on the thing. Like, you know it's coming, but it's like you're kind of losing patience. This is like, no, I see it. It's coming. Thank you. Hi. You know, it's the first, like, you know, where you wave to your neighbor when, like, you've been there for, like, you've lived there for a long time, and, like, there's a new neighbor, and, they're quite friendly, so you're like, hey, what's up? You know? I don't do that, but, you know, I've seen it before. All right, look through the Tower moment. So making those executive decisions, is that garlic? It's garlic. It's very protective within that, like, that practice. Garlic is also a form of protective form for, like, from energy vampires, vampiric energies, trying to suck your, like, lifelines, you know. those possibilities away from you, the ones that you rely on most, which also can creep up into your family energy. So this is, it's highly protective. Like, this goes way, way back. And like garlic is like a commonplace, almost like butter. It's like butter. It's the next thing to sliced bread. When it comes to dishes, and also resilience, building your immunity. Garlic as well as ginger, honey, those are basics. So those are like the main staples. If you had to pick like the top 5 or top 10 ingredients, or like crystals, this is basically the same type of energy. You gotta have garlic. Like, I've never known anybody be like, oh, I have a garlic allergy. I mean, I would suspect, like, you have some deep-rooted bullshit in your blood if you, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm seeing there. Okay? So, yeah. That's interesting. I love it. Okay, so, I mean, what else do you want to say here? I don't know. I just love this new place in my life now. Like, the awareness that I have, the certain magic that I have on the whim. Like, it's so particular when it comes to the guidance and it comes to reality. Like, I'm dodging bullets left and right when it comes to like foul energies, and like I'm also building a team and allies that are kind of like unseen to me. Some are seen, but some are like are disguised, and those are heroes of the realm. They're guardians, and they so freaking magical. Especially when I get to, like, when I'm called to do certain things, like, I don't think anything of it. I don't really question it. I just, like, when I'm told to do something, I just do it. And the more you do it within practice, the more you see, like, oh, like, you understand, like, when you're doing it, like, it clicks why it works the way it does. It's amazing. Like, I've never opened up a book or like to gain this type of knowledge, or like heard it through other spiritualists. Like, this is something that's like tribal knowledge that like just handed, like, here you go, and it's just teaching me, because like I can be trusted. It's not really like self-proclaimed energy. This is super wonderful because, like, I've told you before, I don't like marketing myself. Like, I do not enjoy that part of marketing, like where you have to like splurge on like, oh, I do this and I've done that. I was told, like, I was set up for an interview to like brag about like how the things that you've done or whatever. And I did it like in a subtle form. Not so much with a big red bow, but like factual, like I've done that, I've done this or whatever, as pieces of reassurance. But you know what? The receptivity of those interviewers, they felt, I'm not going to tell you every single detail of it, but I know for a fact that they felt threatened. I know for a fact. Because, like, you know what the feedback was? Oh, it was must have been a personality clash. But I know that energy, like, I've seen that energy before, and to see that revived within them too, especially like those exchanging glances when it came to like a certain thing, like, I know for a fact. Like, because their words weren't matching. It was like double talking. It was type of questions that they asked at the timing that they did. What is it? Oh yeah, again, the tower energy. So you make executive decisions based on also reading energy. Like, wow. And it's of no offense, because that's where they are at in their life. They're living a certain hell within their realm, and I don't know if like that's just within their learning phase. Like, that's their path. But yeah, like I'm really enjoying this part in my life where I can see things click, see things for what they are, and also learn without feeling like I'm going in, like dumbing myself down. It's like, no, the expression of the inner child, like, oh my goodness, I'm in this like big, like, reputable company, like this entity, which is like spirit's realm. And like, there's so much to learn. And it's like the engagement is exciting. But you also know the reality of like the seriousness of, not just its intricacies, but also the applications of why, you know, its purpose. And so, I don't know, I love that part. Yeah, it's like, it's a whole new world. I don't even know what to say, Spirit. Okay, top of the deck. I forgot to look at that. It's the Hermit. Going through the dark night of the soul. Commonplace. It's that hooded energy. But again, you see? Like, through the forest, you know? See, it's like, ding. It's like, cheers, ding. Do you understand that? You understand that energy? That's freaking crazy. That's so freaking crazy, Spirit. That, like, speechless. That is insane. Okay, let's get the bananagrams. Okay. Oh. Like, what, like, I accomplished between, like, the, I don't know, 5 a.m. hour to now is like, it's amazing. Freaking amazing. Like, I love it. I am my higher self compared to, like, just like an hour or two ago. Like, comparative view, it's like I'm patting my old self on the back, like, fuck yeah, Tina. You go and get them piles. Figure it out. Handle A. A fell on the lap of the right side of the lap of the King of Pentacles, muted. Okay, so W, B, P, D, L, K, A, E, R, I, O, N, E, I, R, O, D, G. Oh, I see do or die. That's crazy. Excuse me. Green. Loin. Lion. I see Brian. It's the first time I've seen Brian. Okay. Gorin. Who's Gorin? This sounds like somebody's last name. Oh, I see Al Gore. Okay. I see adorable. That's the first time I've seen that. Okay. Plan. I see boring. Some people may feel like that. I see rake. Blade. Okay. I feel like I'm supposed to get names here. Again, I see Ron. Rod, like Rodney, short for Rodney. Klein, like Anne Klein. Doran. That's somebody's last name. Loren, like Sophia Loren, Loren. Larry, but with an IE. Berry with a IE. Bardo. That's the in between. I see Jen R. I don't know what that means. That's crazy. Okay. So this is very like forward energy. You know what I mean? Like this could be, so there's like Gen X, Gen Z. What happened to Gen W? WXYZ. So what's, I don't know. I don't see any Y or Z here or X. So we're looking like, this is far, far. I see labia. Okay. Plaid. Oh, I see Raekwon. What? That's crazy. What's up? Okay. Delia. Gerald. That's interesting. I haven't seen Gerald in a long time. Denny. DENIE. I don't know. Donnie, but with only one N. Jerry. GERI. Corn again. KORN. What song are we supposed to divine out of that? Out of them. I mean, they have lots of music too, so I have to think about the content here. I think it's got the life. Because I'm remembering like a car exploding and it's just like slamming the door, like just leaving it behind. That's the tower energy that we saw open up twice. So it's like that executive decision, like having the balls to do that, because you know what's real. I don't remember the content of the video other than like I'm just seeing that and the confidence behind that, like that main line. Yeah. Okay. Davy. But that's with an IE. Okay. Dion. Diane. Leanne, but with only one N. Laney. Borden. Lizzie Borden? Who's that? Who is that? I think she was like, no, I think that was like, I don't remember. I think she was like some kind of like old, like back in the day, like some serial killer. I don't remember. I don't know. Leo, like the zodiac sign. I see it twice here, so it's prominent. What is it? Adia. What's her face sings that? Sarah McLachlan. I don't remember what the lyrics to it. Eileen, both with an E and an A. Kaleo, what is it? Kaleo. They're okay. I have to write these things down because like sometimes I just forget. Okay, let me write this down. Idia, Kaleo. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then got the life. Okay. I have to look up Lizzie Borden because I don't even. That's crazy. All right. Warden, Warden. There's some hidden energy here, like imprisonment. Like there's something here. Gen R. Okay. Geode. So it's like that cave, like type of like looking at boulders as not something to be like super cumbersome about. It's also that hidden energy on the inside that is almost like cave-like in structure when it comes to the surprises of working with the divine. Like, yeah. To make our experiences more palpable is what I'm hearing. Okay. Neo. Oh yeah, Raekwon, right? All right. There's other names in here, but I see rodeo. Or Rodeo Drive. I see that. Some of you might have some significance towards that. I think, all right, we're going to have to start putting these things together here. I see kale, so some of us need to start eating healthier, like for real, like straight up kale. Okay. But remember, like Brussels sprouts had that energy way back in the day until like they spruced it up. Doesn't mean you have to put it with bacon, but like you can, roast it with, garlic, of course, and, all that other stuff. And like, it's just very simple in its ways. And it's like, wow, I could do that. So, yeah, it doesn't have to be so hardcore when it comes to the energy of like rectifying your health. However that's seen. LBD, a little black dress. Yeah, there's a certain amount of class here because it's very close to like Loren, like Sophia Loren here. Gertie, cooking me and turkey, baby, something. Are we back again? There was a child abduction. It's 7:50 on the clock, and there's a child abduction like alarm go off. We haven't had one of the Amber Alert. That's what it was. And that was 7:50 this morning, and that I was divining something from Mickey Avalon. That was what's her name? Jane Fonda. that's somebody was taken because of like sex trafficking. That's what it is. Because the lyric was like baby 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 something gravy and then it was like licky licky suck me fuck me or something like that. That's what it was at that portion where it just started to roll in. That's crazy. So it's just also to bring awareness to what's going on in the world, especially. I mean that's insane. So because of that sequence, that person will be found. Like something, because this is still like scattered with injustice and judgment and the King of Pentacles muted form. So that person will be found. Yeah, I feel tingles all over. So whoever's missing, that family is to find reassurance and invest in the energies of belief and like following through, because they, this will be like, there's justice in this. That's what I'm told. Okay. Oh, I also see Blake, like William Blake. Okay. So, I think we're looking at, plaid is what I'm told to look at here, because it's looking like, feeling like entanglement almost. Plaid is like a very confused energy sometimes. I mean, it can be a fun like throw in, but it's not necessarily always considered like taken seriously. It's just like a fun like but looking at that, there's also like a certain crispness to it, depending on what plaid you're looking at. So it's looking at the interweaving of colors. So it's like the melting pot, but like every individual, like, vibrant within their own color scheme, and that blending of the fibers together, without losing, your prominence. So, looking at that pattern, that interweaving, that interdependence, plaid is important, because we're not just looking at the sentience of like cultures, we're looking at the sentience of our experience. So, plaid is definitely here. Correct. And then green, as far as we're looking at growth. So, and wake. Okay, so let's do that. This is very interesting. I was like, there's so many letters here. Like, where am I going to start? And then it started. It just kept going. Okay. That's what I felt like this morning. The energy was just like, there's so much. And then it just one thing after the other, like focus on what you're doing in the here and now. Okay, so Naboo. What's Naboo? Sorry, I gotta look this up. That is insane. I looked it up and I was like, it felt like Tatooine, like a place, but it's a fictional universe or whatever in Star Wars, and it talked about like it's green pastures, like freaking insane. Whoa, I'm hearing that song Princess Leia. Is that what it's called? By Blink-182. Something. Yeah, that's insane. Okay, I gotta make room for this. Like, excuse me, I gotta make room. That's insane. Wait, let me make room. I gots to. Okay, we're doing it. Okay, we're doing it. Oh, and I know plantain isn't really like banana per se, but like, I'm hearing, bananas, no doubt. And plantain is on the justice card. I'll just write Blink-182. Okay, Naboo. That's insane. Okay. My hands are shaking. Okay. Just 'cause, like, I want to see what else was left here, because we have our ID left. So, look, remember when we got Blade? It's also I was called to say something, but like I didn't listen. I didn't say anything because I'm like, it's obvious. So no, because we have Rid here, it's reiterating Blade, cutting off things that like just do not serve us, especially even when it comes to like the incremental value of the first impression, like shaking someone's hand, or like, can I have a hug? Or like, if you feel like you're having a bad day, just know that those energies that come off like, hey, how are you doing? Like, I hope you're well. Like that over exuberant energy is like fake. It's fake for a reason. It's like a full on disguise. So when they're like, oh, can I give you a hug? That's like that portal that they're looking for to latch onto your energy, because your guard is like severely compromised because you're not feeling well. So it's okay for you to refuse that energy. Like for me, I naturally said like no. Like more recently, I said no, it's fine, it's okay, because I'd rather have people like leave me alone when I'm in that energy. So that's like self-protective when it comes to like being guided without even freaking knowing it. It just works out on its own. So they can't latch onto your energy when you don't will it, when you don't like accept it. Even within its like proposition of it being most acceptable within its circumstance, like it's non-threatening energy. You got to see energy for what it is, like put it into context. So anyway, yeah. So that was the very same energy. It was like, oh, you're so cute. Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Like, they're like, oh, I'm so jealous. When they can say it within the same expression of jealousy, or like, oh, I envy you. Like that, it's hidden. Mm-hmm. So, I see grid. There we go. Green grid. So we're speaking of ley line energy when we're like, our sentience depicts like the crystalline grid. The prominence of that energy speaks like we're like geolocating, like that pinpoint to the universes out there. Mm-hmm. We're actually establishing that within our own root system, like our own energy field, like starbursts, like. All right, let me show you. See? Do you know how that's so crazy? I love it. I am enjoying my work. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels, for your light and love, for your support. My guides, my besties from the beyond and before the veil. Gotta love it. Gotta love the collaboration. So, the sun is coming out. You see that? It's beautiful. I allowed for more sunlight in my area and moonlight energy. It was beautiful. The celestials have guided me. All right. So, thank you to all my supporters and my sponsors and all the donations provided in light and love. Thank you. Awesomely appreciate it. Okay. Thank you to all you disguised heroes. Thank you very, very much. What else do we want to say? Oh, and now that this reading is officially over, upon closing all portals, I sent all energies to return. I returned them to their originating locations outside of mine. Send them back with their to-go bag of karma. Various forms, yes. No lines crossed, no confusion, no entanglement. It's all done with clarity and light and love. So I send them all back to their locations. Thank you for respecting my privacy, my space, my energies, and my work in advance. Sending you back. Close all portals now.